Also really
Okay.
open.
No.
Good. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, I am in the right branch. Okay, good. So yeah, I'm just not too sure where I could basically just sort of dive in and work on something that's not going to interfere with anything that you and Yella. Maybe one idea is just that those I2C errors that Rob noticed. Maybe just do a tidy up with the if-defs to deal with the power management unit, since they're two different chips depending on core versus core 2. I don't know, something simple like that, or if you have something a little bit more, I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. How's that?
That's good. What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds like we have to like discuss some like the next steps, like how can we divide our work and work separately, because now it's a lot of like setting things up, like creating all the classes and like connecting everything.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
the next steps like implementing each like sensor and each handler and
Yeah.
that's it.
So you would like to be in charge of that? I think it's you're the one the most advanced who in this case can oversee the whole let's say structure. I prefer that you
Yeah.
take lead in that.
Yeah,
And
that's okay.
then we skip in Louis and me.
Yeah, we can do that. I think what we can do now is yeah, go through the structure a bit, and to see where there are still some things to do and where there's a lot of things to do. Like something would be like implementing the sensors, etc. Like some I've already done, like the battery indicator thingy. Like I'm just using the M5 library. I'm not sure if it works because I haven't printed anything. I just put it in there, and then I'll check it later. But there's a lot of work to do in the screen. Yeah, the screen handling. Like we can discuss like what kind of screens do we want. How do we interact with the screen? Like we have 3 buttons to play with.
Yeah.
We even have a whole
Well,
touch screen on the Core 2.
yeah. Yeah, for the buttons, that seems to be how we basically connecting the buttons to the screen so that we read the actions. I'm thinking maybe just callbacks that would just I don't know, just interact with the state machine, something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, so the buttons already work. So that's what I did this afternoon.
Okay.
Also on the Core 2. So I could just do like a small demo of what I've been working on.
Sure.
Although I'm not sure if the webcam picks up the core, but maybe if you two also have like the core next to you.
Hold a second. Let me get.
Yes.
Core. Okay, where's core?
Yeah, the core or the core 2, like either one of those. I tested them both, and they work exactly the same, which is great.
Okay. That's
but if you
always
have a
good.
Core 2, you have touchscreens, of course. But I can talk through some issues I've had with the Core 2. Yeah, with the touchscreen and the button placement, etc. Yeah, I'll wait for Rob. I'll also share my screen.
Okay.
How's your internet today? Like,
it's terrible. I just had a dropout just a few minutes ago while you're talking.
Oh, really? Oof.
Yeah. So maybe I'm just going to put my phone next to the window and I'm just going to hotspot my phone.
Hey, maybe we can like Rob and me like turn off the webcam. That saves some bandwidth.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, I'll stop video because I kind of want to share my screen, of course, and go through the code a bit.
No, it's nothing to do with the webcam. It's the it just drops out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's more like an issue with like disconnecting. Okay.
Yeah, oh
But
yeah, just
it
the
can still save some bandwidth if you're on your mobile data. So
okay, yeah, I'm seeing your full screen, so all is well.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. I just need to move this screen sharing bar. It's kind of in the way as always. I know. Can you also see my mouse, or is it also?
Yes, I can see
Yeah,
the
I see
pointer.
mouse. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Okay. So just go over things. I'll start in the main. Yeah, in the main, I created all the workers and the screen. So we got like the 3 buttons, which uses the M5 button implementation. Well, for the core 2, there's an implementation which already uses like the touchscreen zone. So
Yes.
that's great. So we can just use those. I did notice that because we have the screen upside down currently on the
Yes.
core 1, the buttons are reversed. So it's like CVA.
Yes,
So
I saw it. Yes.
but we'll figure something.
Yeah.
I think actually for the core 2 it's the same. So
Yeah, they
C is
both
just
reversed. Yes.
yeah, it should probably be fine. All right, so and we have the GPS, the Geiger-Müller sensor, the battery indicator, and the shake detector. I call it the shake detector
Yep.
because it's a great name because we want to detect shaking, right?
Yeah, but the
I
problem,
can just drop that
there's a
again.
problem with the shake detector because in
Uh-oh.
the core 2, if we take it off the how you say that the backside off, the shake
Oh, the little
detector doesn't
the
work.
back, the backing. Yes.
Yeah, there's the
Is
center is
that
in the
so?
back. So
In the
and
back.
we're not using the back, so the shake sensor really doesn't work. Only on the gray it works.
Oh, okay.
The core gray has a shake sensor, but we can keep it in. So maybe we can later.
Yeah, we can keep it in, and it just won't produce any data
That's true.
for the core 2. So that's.
And also we can, if we want, we can how to say, we can on the I2C port we can put in the shaking detector or a sensor, and then we can pick up the I2C data. You understand? Because
Yeah,
on
it's an
the
optional module. You mean?
yeah, optional. I have 2 I2C ports coming out on the board, on the new board, and then we can just connect any I2C sensor to it. Also for later air, or I don't know what other people want to do, or you want to take this I2C data out to some other place or some data in. So that's right. So
Yeah, that's fine. Well, we can do something. Let's see that the shake detector currently, indeed, only the basic, like that's the IMU data. I'm not sure what we want to do with it, but I'm just currently getting this data about like the gyro, like the movement, something, and then based on that, like getting multiple readings from it, we can like calculate maybe like is it being shaken? I don't know. I commented out because I had some wire errors. I still haven't figured out where they were. There, as you can see, there's like the I2C wire read nonstop.
Oh, that's I think is because of the power management unit. They're different chips, and so
Yeah, I think if I had this enabled, and let's just do a quick upload.
yeah, so
it kept spamming me like this error.
Yeah, it's because if you're compiling for the core 2, there is no like the 2 different power management chips, and they're just not there, and
right.
the core the IMU, the was it 8662 or something like that. The power management keeps looking for that chip, doesn't find it, and that's why you get that. So if you have a look at the stuff, the branch that I did, you'll
Yeah,
see.
here you
Yeah,
go.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
this is not the battery, because this is, as you
you
can
sure?
see, that this is the battery implementation. So I can check if it's through the
Oh,
power it's charging or get the battery level.
okay.
So that this one works fine, but it's actually this one where we get this data.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps one of these is not available,
Mm-hmm.
and then it returns an error. So I just commented this out. We can give it an implementation someday.
Yeah, okay.
And then the error
I'm
is
not.
gone.
Yeah, and then the error is gone. So
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just upload this new version again. But yeah, so the controller just has all the workers, etc., and runs every cycle. And then as for the states, where are my states?
Yeah, I got the nice message from you. Hold on a second. From the when I compiled the stuff. Hold on a second, let me get that.
Is there a nice message?
Yeah, no, but from the let me get this on. This is what I got when the SD card is in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
Startup complete. Display some cool dashboard with all data available. Lovely.
Yeah. So you get like, yeah. So if you start it up without the SD card, you get an error, and then
Yeah.
you can put it in, press a button, restarts, shows like the splash screen where it says show some cool splash screen things. Yeah, as you can see, these are currently the states I got.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got the initialized device
Mhm.
where at this point we do, let's see, more states. Just go through this.
Oh, by the way,
So
we have 5 minutes on this meeting left, but
Oh.
we can restart again. So just let you know.
yeah, I'll just fill the 5 minutes. Yeah, so I start the SD card thingy to see if it's available. If not, I'll just say, well, there's no SD card. We start the workers that are necessary for the device to work, like the battery indicator,
Mhm.
check detector, doesn't really do anything. Could even comment it out, whatever. The buttons and the controller state,
Mhm.
which basically makes the controller also a worker that lets other handlers or supervisor, in this case for the screen, they let the screen know, like, I'm currently initializing, I'm currently done, I'm currently in this state, blah, blah. So that's what the controller worker is doing.
Yeah,
Then there's
I saw that in the flow diagram of that you implemented. That was nice.
yeah.
The feedback to the supervisor.
Then there's the controller handler, because the controller is both a worker and a handler. And
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
the handler part of the controller, what it does is it listens to the buttons, the button workers.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, the controller, when it checks the when it handles the workers' work, it will check the 3 buttons at this moment and see if they're pressed,
Mm-hmm.
and then schedule an event because of the internal state machine working. Like the controller wants to know if a button is pressed. Like the
Right.
button
Okay.
press will probably not do a lot. Like perhaps we can even remove it. It kind of depends. The buttons are to transition between states, and it could be that a lot of well, I'm not too sure yet how we will transition states between different screens, because the screen will know when a different screen is being initiated. But that's kind of what I said. I have no idea yet how we can use the buttons. I have some ideas, of course, but I don't know if there's already an idea like what screens do we want? How do we want to switch between screens? Like, is there like a button just to go to a different screen, or is there like some pop-up menu where you can then like use the buttons to navigate and then enter a new screen, something like that?
But we should
Many options available.
yeah, at the
We'll-
moment, I think we should stick with just 3 buttons. And then if the final production is out, then we can switch to only for the core 2. But at the moment, we still have we still have quite a lot of
yes,
around. So we should,
of course. Yeah, if it were up to me, I would say we have just 3 buttons and we can switch between 3 screens that way. Like maybe the first button is like the normal dashboard, second button is the config server, and the third button could be like I was thinking about like a debug screen where you can see the states of all workers and all connectors and stuff, but
that's good for us, but it's not good for the people who are going to use it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can't really think of a third
Oh,
screen.
QR code.
Oh, QR code.
Yes.
Yep.
For
So they pop up and they can take a screenshot and now go to the data. I think that was good. And the second button, personally, I think it's a mode switch. So you want to switch between logging mode and how do you call them, and survey mode. You understand that, Mode?
right.
Because
Yes,
those 3 functions are quite crucial for the gig counter. And another thing, what I think we should think about is long press. If you have a long press, it will reset, for example. I think that is kind of standard thing. If you press it long, it resets the whole system. Or
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we can do something with that.
okay.
We can also combine things like if you're on one screen and you press, for example, the first button is the normal dashboard.
Mhm.
If you're on the dashboard and you press the same button again, then you get like the QR code, for
Oh,
example.
that's also a good idea.
And then
Yeah,
you can click it again and you go back to the dashboard.
Mhm.
And then if you click on the other buttons, you go to other screens. So I think using something like that makes it a bit easier to switch between.
Yeah. The meeting will stop in 2 seconds.